I mean, nowhere better than this.
That's what I was thinking. No.
Obviously, a big week for Minyon going back to Los Angeles. Can you just speak to her impact, particularly the last few weeks? What has she figured out about her teammates? What have you guys figured out about her? And things just seem to be clicking so well in terms of her impact, particularly on the defensive end.
Yeah, well, that's where she's made the biggest impact. So, as long as she impacts us more on the defensive end than she's kind of given up on the offensive end, then it's a net win for us. But she's actually doing a great job offensively too. So she's helping us at both ends. But I think what you have seen over the last month or so is a team that's really energized defensively. The whole group, we're locked in, and a big part of that is because of her. She is the defensive leader and has set the tone for us.
Is she able to make the deal for you guys to do some different things just because she's so tenacious out there?
Yeah, no doubt. We've picked up a lot more full court that we don't normally do. We've trapped in the half court a lot more. We've changed our defenses because, she's a heck of a rover. I don't know if you ever played softball, slow pitch softball, and you had that rover back in the day. She's that rover. She can kind of do anything. She's good at double teaming at the low post. She's good on the perimeter, and she's just a nuisance, a little pest, against every point guard in the conference. And we have elite point guards. Just think of the ones she's had to defend in the last month. Destiny Slocum a couple times, Ari McDonald, Kiana Williams. I mean, these are legit All-American candidates, and now she's got another one in Pristine coming up. So it's nice to be strong defensively at the point when we have so many great point guards in our league.
And what you've learned about her, how is she going to handle her emotions this weekend?
I don't think it's going to faze her at all being back home. I think she's in her element there. I think she's proud that she's a Duck. I think she's also proud that she was a Trojan for 3 years and did great things there. I don't think anybody has any ill will towards her for leaving, and that's not always the case. But I think they were happy for her because of the reason why she was leaving. She knew she could have an impact on a team that had a chance at winning a national championship. And with all due respect to USC, they're not in that position right now. So I think she's gonna do great, and I know she's looking forward to the weekend.
Looking at the last couple weeks of results for UCLA and Stanford, this UCLA game is a pretty big one as far as standing and seeding goes. I mean, Is it hard not to kind of look ahead to this game? I mean, your team seems like they've been pretty good about keeping one game at a time, but knowing that that's there, how do you not look past USC?
Well, we play UCLA first.
Oh, I'm not.
So yeah, so no,
you're looking. Then I know you're looking directly at them. Then so
we're looking at them first. Yeah, that's going to be a big game. It's the only time we play. So if they win, then we would be tied in the standings, with 5 games left, but they would have that tiebreaker. So this is a big game, and it gives us a chance to eliminate another team. We've kind of used that as one of our approaches. With each victory we've had, we put teams in the rearview mirror, so to speak. We know we still have to play 6 more games. We get that, but at the same time, if you can start knocking off those teams that are up at the top with you, and this is another chance to do that.
So you feel pretty battle tested now?
Yeah, well, if you saw my tweet yesterday, you'd realize that of our last 10 opponents, 7 are ranked and 6 in the top 12. I mean, it's crazy what we've had to do. And then icing on the cake is now another game at UCLA. So, yeah, if anybody can handle it, it's these guys. And we're certainly, tested for it, like you said.
Is that mentality that you were talking about eliminating, which is like sort of a tournament mentality, is that a conscious thought of yours that you're going to get to that point where you literally have to eliminate opponents?
Yeah, well, we want to win a Pac-12 championship, and so to do that, you've got to knock off the competition. And so as we've gone along and been able to, let's say, beat Oregon State twice, well, and they're now below us in the standings, and we'd have that tiebreaker, and we've got Stanford ahead, and now UCLA's the next one. So, yeah, I think you have that mentality, and I think it keeps you, looking at what's next, and, you want to see where your opponents are and your competition is. So, yeah, I think it's a great way to stay engaged, and it's something that's worked for our team.
What kind of test is Michaela Onion wear?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I think ESPN got it wrong today. I like where they put a few of the Ducks, but I think Onyenwere should be one of the top 6 or 7 players in the country. I see her as such. She is, she's Giannis, from the NBA. She can do everything. She's developed a perimeter jump shot. She's got 3-point range. She's almost unguardable off the dribble, and her spin move in the paint is as good as anybody. And then she's got a little fadeaway game inside that just it suckers people into trying to block her shot, and they end up just fouling her because nobody can get that high. She is a really, really talented player, and just one of many that the Bruins have.
Coach Campbell, can you comment on the coup it was to get him, and also what kind of person and coach he's been?
He commented on the coup that
to
get him. Oh, okay. You want me to comment?
I called him.
I thought he was commenting. Yeah, it was a coup that he got him.
No. I called him Clark Kent. Here's a big recruiter, but he seems pretty mild mannered. So
he has his moments. Yeah, I think he's a really good coach all the way around. I think. He's good on the floor. He's good with player development. He develops really close relationships with a lot of the players. And defensively, he's kind of been our point person. He's just a really good coach all the way around. I think he's balanced the whole thing out. So yeah, it was a coup that we got Coach Campbell.
But you got the power. You're the one responsible for it.
Well, sure. I mean, when I was at Gonzaga, we were getting most of the talent in the Northwest because the 4 Pac-12 schools at that point were just not very good. And then suddenly Oregon State started chipping away. With a Jamie Wisner. Those are kind of players that were in. That we would get at Gonzaga, and I'd always ask them, when they turned us down, hey, I'm going to Oregon State. And I said, well, what made the difference? And they always said, well, I had a great relationship with Coach Campbell. So naturally, when I got the job here, I needed, number one, a recruiter, and number two, somebody that knew the Pac-12. And he certainly was good at both and knew both. So it was a no-brainer. And the fact that we could get someone away from the Beavers was an added bonus, but it wasn't necessarily what I was thinking about at the time.
And their coach wasn't unhappy about it.
Oh, I think Scott was pretty unhappy about it, but it's okay. They've moved on, and they've done great things since. So it's not like it slowed them at all, but it certainly helped us. So, what else did you need me to say on that?
That's off the record.
Oh, okay.
Cameras are still running, man.
Yeah, that's for everyone to see now.
So many of you guys' wins recently have been lopsided and over by the fourth quarter. Friday's game might end up that way, but there's a good chance it's something where you're battling late. Is that something you think this team is, I don't want to say ready for, but prepared for a moment?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we've been in a lot of close games over the years, and I expect a real battle on Friday night. Some of these other games are aberrations to some degree, but we've had some close games and done well. So, yeah, I don't. In the end, we still have Sabrina and Ruthie and Satu, and those kind of players have been in big moments.
I know teams and coaches say that they're worried about peaking too early sometimes, but I mean, you've said that this team isn't close to their peak yet. I'm just curious, what is still needed that you'd like to see before this team hits its peak?
No, I think we played some really good games, but maybe the best game we played all the way around was November 6th against the USA. And so that was a long, long time ago and way in the rearview mirror. No, I think we just got to continue to be more consistent at both ends. We're still not really shooting it from range consistently like we can. The other night we were 13 of 25 from the three-point, which is obviously really good, but that followed up a 6 for 22 night. It's just we've got to continue to be a little bit better in that area. So no, I don't think we've peaked yet. I sure hope not, because our best basketball better be ahead of us or we're going to be in trouble.
Kelly, you're a big proponent of the game on social media. Obviously, I think you've been more active this year even. What is the reasoning for that? What's your thought process behind that?
Well, a lot of us, I'm retweeting good stories about our team. We're getting a lot of national recognition. I mean, let's face it, this is a team that is fun to follow, and a lot of people, champion our team. I'm proud of the program we've built, and I guess now that I'm an empty nester, I have more time at home to think up new tweets. I have tried to get into, we play really good basketball. Okay, we take care of the basketball, we share the basketball, we shoot a good percentage. We're, I think, the best offensive team in the country. So I like to put out there on social media, some of the sets that we run, some of the drills, what makes us go, because I get a lot of those questions from coaches, who email me. And I think it's important to grow the game. I don't really care that they know a set that we're going to, oh, wow, Ruthie runs a middle pick and roll with Sabrina. At some, you still got to stop it. So I like sharing those things. I think it's good for the game. And I wish more people would do that, actually. I think too many people try to guard their little secrets. It's all out there now anyway. If you're a basketball coach, you get on Synergy, and I can watch every single possession that you have run this year. with this certain player or whatever, whatever combination. So, yeah. But I'm glad you. How about the beautiful picture the other night?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was incredible. That was such a neat walk that night. Yeah. So I was one of probably 2,000 people who put out that picture at some point.
You referenced that ESPN list. I just really quickly had 3 of your players in the top 5. That's pretty cool. I mean, is that one of those things you're able to pinch yourself and go, but just kind of referencing how talented this roster is?
Yeah, and it puts some pressure on the coach. Okay, coach, you got 3 of the best 5 players, supposedly. How about let's win every game now by 100? So, well-deserved. I mean, well-deserved. I think all 3 of them are talented in their own right, and I think they all complement each other. You know, and it's neat that in a couple weeks we'll have senior day with Ruthie and Sabrina. They're going to go down as, you know, one of the greatest tandems in the history of college basketball. And how fitting is it? You know, one wouldn't be them without the other. And, you know, so it's fitting those 2 will always be linked, I think, here. And Satu still has some journey left.
Coach.